show us as the exchange student that you have like a 3-week affair with.
Like, we can see that you don't have pants on.
Somebody hit somebody with a pie. Do something.
Giovanni yelling we're out of time as we go off the air.
Giovanni yelling a lot of things tonight.
And welcome to the Mark It Down podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Mark It Down podcast. My name is Nick Cummings, joined tonight by Matt Cascone, a.k.a. Becky Lynch over there. And we are back here to review WrestleMania 41, Night 2. Before we get into everything, I would like to shout out Matt for holding it down solo dolo last night for Night 1. We appreciate it, Matt. We also appreciate you dressing up. I was saying to you before we even started, I would have my Becky Lynch shirt on, but it's shrunk in the wash and it don't fit me no more. But I do love that old school, the man shirt. And if I'm not mistaken, when WrestleMania was last in the Meadowlands, I was on TV in it, booing Ronda Rousey.
Really? Okay, cool.
Pretty sure I was on the pre-show because they got a bunch of us clustered in the parking lot. Be like, okay, you guys cheer Becky, you guys cheer Ronda, and you guys cheer Charlotte. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna move to the Becky side.
Nice. I was in the Miz match, and I was holding the Oliver 316 sign. That was my claim to fame because John Oliver did a great segment about wrestling
is better than everything you like.
Yep. I'm glad you remember. But yeah, that was my claim to fame. And
normally I would agree with that, but tonight it was good. But I don't know. I think maybe could have been better. We'll get into it. Before we do, I want to say hi to Dev. What's up, dude? Been a minute. Glad to have you back here at the Mark It Down pod. But Matt, let's dive right into the main events. Obviously, the biggest news coming out of WrestleMania: John Cena versus Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE Championship. Cody, after some Travis Scott shenanigans, deciding not to use the championship belt to his advantage, putting it down. John Cena replicating what he did at Elimination Chamber, kicking Cody in the dick, and winning the WWE Undisputed Championship to get his record-breaking 17th title. I told this to Danny on the prediction show. On the Wikipedia page, it says Ric Flair technically has 22 or 23, but WWE only recognizes 16 of them. But John Cena,
Wikipedia is never wrong, folks. So
Meltzer also says he has 22 or 23, but there was a lot of shenanigans back in the territory days. Anyway, Cena wins his 17th title, breaks the recognized record for world championships as a heel in a match where he was cheered far more than Cody was in what felt like a very WrestleMania 18 Rock Hogan scenario. I thought it was a decent match. It was very interesting watching Cena fight heel for the first time in a very long time. He was much more methodical than he used to be. He did the 5 moves of doom very slowly, but he did do them. He took off the turnbuckle pad at some point and bopped Cody's head off of it twice. We had the ref bump, which allowed Travis Scott to get involved, but it was good. It was far less underbooked than I expected. I expected a lot more shenanigans with The Rock and or other run-ins. Takes off Hat Rose ball spot. Fine match, but I don't know. This wasn't a world beater for me. What do you think, Matt?
Certainly not. I mean, I was doing stuff for the pod page, so I was very much more invested last night watching and drinking. Tonight it was more just putting stuff on the pod page and watching in the background. So I did see this match, and it was fine. I think it was better than the Jey Uso match, which 24 hours later I'm just kind of like, Jey, you got a lot of work to do to make this title run be meaningful, because that match was nothing. So this is definitely not nothing, but I think for me personally, not having The Rock show up in any shape, or form was a huge disappointment. I think we all thought we all knew that The Rock was not able to have a match at Mania this year, that he's got Moana, the live action movie, he's filming that. It just wasn't going to happen. I think we all accept that, especially after the Cena heel turn. We're like, this is a good story to go with. We can work with this. And I still believe that. And it certainly wasn't a letdown, but not having The Rock there was a letdown. And they brought somebody else in instead before this match to try and make up for that. We'll get into it in a little bit later, but it's just wild. Like, Rock, bro, you can't take off 24 hours to just kind of like do a run in, because I'm sorry, like, Travis Scott, talented rapper, great performer. He's, there's a lot of good things you can say about him.
Yeah, there's a lot of bad things too.
yes, that whole thing. Yeah, I'm not giving him any leeway. Like, take responsibility for, putting people in danger in more ways than one. But he just looks like a fucking loser in a wrestling ring. Like, there's nothing wrong with having like a fan-esque person show up in a ring, but like, stop trying to be like, oh, look at me, I'm a badass. I'm coming out real slow. I've got my sunglasses on indoors. I've got my title belt. It's like, bro, you are not fooling anyone. I feel like I could pull anyone from like the crowd, not anyone, but I could be like, who here can take Travis Scott? And it would take me like maybe 20 seconds to be like, all right, yeah, I think you're good. Like, let's go. Like, I think you can kick Travis Scott's ass. Like, he's just not at all intimidating. And it's like, we need to stop this. If you're going to be kind of like a celebrity that gets into wrestling, you need to go all in, all out, like a Bad Bunny, like a Logan Paul.
Stephen Amell.
But Stephen Amell is like a big jack dude. So like, you know what I mean? So is Logan Paul, but like Bad Bunny, I'll even give him credit. He's not like, I'm pretty sure I'm taller than him, but like, he's put in the work and you see it. Travis Scott is not there.
He's there for the paycheck. Like Bad Bunny, Stephen Amell, a lot of those guys, they love wrestling. Scott's there for the paycheck and the crossover. Like,
yeah. And they're like, oh, we'll get heel heat out of this. It's like, no, we don't need people like that here. Like, this is where I'm going to start gatekeeping. Not a fan of gatekeeping, but I will make exceptions. Like,
no,
Travis Scott,
in this instance, please do.
Yeah. And if you're not like a super jack dude, you can still contribute. Like, look at what's his name? I Am Speed or I Show Speed. What's his name?
I think I just call him Speed. It's easier.
Speed getting speared out of his pants like at Royal Rumble. Fantastic. Like, he knew what to do. He showed up, he did his job, he went home. It was great. We need more guys like that. If you're not a huge 6-foot jack dude, Travis Scott, like, you're not intimidating at all, bro. Like just stop, please.
I also think Scott's entire thing was he's friends with The Rock. The Rock not coming out kind of killed all of his momentum, because you would think, all right, he comes out, The Rock comes out, they go down there. Travis Scott starts beating on Cody again. The Rock intimidates the ref into not DQing the match. And
that
you
would make
do
sense.
It that way, yeah. And I understand maybe it changes a little bit because Cena ends up winning, and that feels like more of a Cody overcoming the odds and winning type of scenario. But even then, that feels a bit better than just Travis Scott. And maybe this is just a thing where we all built up in our heads, like, oh, like this person's going to come down and this person's going to come down. And it just ended up being
last
Scott.
year. Last year was nuts with the run-ins.
Exactly.
In a good way.
Yeah, exactly. And, I think on the prediction show, Danny and I were like, oh, we might get Stone Cold. We might get CM Punk. The Stone Cold thing very clearly went out the window when he came out to announce the attendance. And as you mentioned, we will talk about that. And I think the Punk thing kind of went out the window after last night and what happened. But hell, I was half expecting Seth at a certain point, but we don't really know what's going to happen with Seth now either in terms of his character direction. So the number one guy I think we were all expecting was The Rock. And the fact that he wasn't there, I don't want to say he took away from the match, but it was a bit of a letdown, and I just thought the match generally was a bit of a letdown. I don't know. I thought it could have been better. I was saying I kind of hope Cena wrestled a much more technical match just to piss off the "you can't wrestle" people, which would have been really funny. And I basically got the standard heel match from Cena, and Cody got a bit of a comeback, and then it got quickly stifled when the ref went down and Travis Scott came out. I know that I think those happened in reverse order, but this just felt very basic.
It was not mind-blowing. Again, I guess just him winning the title is kind of mind-blowing. So, like, that's something.
Yeah.
Cena's on the post show now doing something, but don't worry, we'll keep going. If anything good happens, I'll let you know. But it's way more
captions on.
way more interesting with us, the Marks, than John Cena, who probably won't say shit. Let me move it over just a tiny bit. Yeah, I just think there could have been some way to. I don't think Stone Cold showing up just before is enough to, sustain us for the main event that's Rockless. I think Rock should have had something out earlier today, just been like, I'm on the set of Moana 2, like, wish I was there at Mania. Again, some people will speculate, like, oh, if he does that, then, like, oh, he's totally going to show up to swerve us. And it's just like, I don't know, just time stamp it. Do something where it's just like, okay, he's in this location. There is physically no way, shape, or form that he can make it to Las Vegas in time for the main event. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that's sometimes more work than you need to do, but at the same time, at least for me, I'd be like, well, he told us he wasn't showing up and he didn't show up, so, like, I can't even be mad.
Yeah, I mean, I had my cousins over here, shout out James and Daniel, and one of them was like, yeah, The Rock's apparently nowhere near there. And I was like, well, you never know, but very clearly he was right, because he was nowhere near there. And it kind of kills the story for me, at least in terms of, like, Cena selling out to The Rock in the first place. But I think I said some of this on the prediction show as well. I feel like us, the fans, wrote a lot more of this story than WWE did in terms of John Cena not really having it. And sometimes it's show, don't tell, but, John Cena not really having it, joining up with The Rock because he knew he couldn't win straight up. There's a lot more meat on this bone, both, I think, in the build and now in this match. And while I think it's very intriguing that Cena won, I also thought the better story was him losing and getting the redemption arc. There is still, I also think, a very intriguing story with him winning. So we'll see what happens. We'll see how they go there. And I totally forgot to plug in my laptop, and it's going to die in any second. So give me.
Yeah, I'll talk in the meantime. You do your thing. My thought good. That just dawned on me is that maybe The Rock, obviously, maybe I'm sure scheduling was number one, that he couldn't show up, but number two might have been like he didn't want to overshadow Cena's victory by showing up. So maybe he'll show up tomorrow, or like during some kind of championship celebration coronation. So I don't think his involvement is finished here. Like, I think Cena is his golden boy.
Oh, hang on. Look who's in the chat.
Oh, poor James. We love you, buddy. James
poor
from
James.
Japan. Straight up from Japan.
The one guy rooting against John Cena who actually likes him, and he didn't see his record-beating title win. James, it's okay. You got to see the announcement of the Darth Maul show, so you're fine.
Yeah, that's actually pretty dope. Even if what's his name? Ray Park is not going to be in it. That's like, I get it, but like, it's always sucky.
Well, Sam Witwer's, or how you say his name, he's Darth Maul, like the voice. He's going to be in it.
Well, I meant physically, it would be Ray Park.
So, if I remember correctly, for the last season of Clone Wars, and don't worry, I put up the "We Don't Go on Tangents" thing. the last season of Clone Wars, Ray Park mo-capped that lightsaber duel against Ahsoka. So I'm hoping that they do something like that where he's able to do it again.
They
That's
definitely won't. He got like soft canceled. Like he had like an inappropriate video, and then I think he had like a divorce that was bad, and like he went on like a rant online, and I think it was enough. I don't think it was anything super terrible. Again, I didn't really look into it, but apparently it was bad enough that Disney doesn't want to deal with him, and that's why they didn't bring him back as Toad for Deadpool and Wolverine. But we should move on.
A, I didn't realize he was Toad in the OGs, and B, I thought that was before the end of Clone Wars, but either way, you're probably
I'm just
right.
saying going forward, if they're not going to put him in Deadpool and Wolverine as Toad, they're not going to put him in Star Wars as Darth Maul.
Yeah, well, he's not physically on screen. Either way, before we get to, we're going to go to the top of the card here, but before we get into that, you were 7 for 7 tonight?
Hell yeah! I was on top of the. I missed 2 yesterday, but today, man, I wish I could bet on wrestling in like a not shady form because I would have made money tonight.
You can. You just have to do it in England,
or you got to be shady as fuck. Or
you do like you do the insert sportsbook here, prediction thing, and then you join the pool.
So should we start at the beginning of the show? Do we want to move to that?
Because I think what was the best match of the night was indeed the opening match, or at least one of the best matches of the night. Io Sky versus Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley, for the Women's World Championship. And this match was great. Kind of went how I thought it was going to go, and I'm not saying that was a bad thing, with Rhea and Bianca being distracted by each other. And the match ended with, if I remember correctly, Bianca hitting a KOD onto Rhea. And as she was pinning her, Io hit the moonsault, I think over the moonsault, I think it is now called. And she ended up pinning Bianca to retain her championship. This was great. Great way to open the show. CM Punk was probably right. This should have main evented. Just not night 1, maybe night 2. But no, I really enjoyed this. And this was an example of sometimes you know the story and what's going to happen going in, but when it delivers, it's still really great. And I think that's what this was. These women really showed out tonight, and they did a phenomenal job.
Absolutely. It was very satisfying. And I think that was something that Vince always had trouble with, that like, oh, I have to make it unpredictable. And I'm like, there's times where that's super appropriate, but like if fans are invested in something and they think they know where it's going to go and they're still invested, you can still make it good. Just because, again, I was 7 for 7 tonight on predictions. That doesn't necessarily mean I think like, oh, because I predicted it, it's bad. Surprises aren't always good. And this match was great. I want to do a quick shout out. Like, again, I was a little distracted watching this match, so I couldn't tell you all the particulars of everything that was really good about it, but what I saw was amazing. But I was really surprised. Bianca, her entrance, she had a crew of double Dutch jump rope people. Like that was fun. That was cool. And again, I was a little distracted because we were just finished eating dinner. We were cleaning up. I was with my baby nephew. So I see like a woman like of Bianca's size like come out in gold with the braid, and I'm like, oh, that's Bianca, I guess. And like again, just barely watching, and I'm like, oh, I guess she's wearing pants tonight. She's been wearing the shorts more than the pants. And then Bianca comes out, and I'm like, oh shit, it's a Bianca lookalike. It wasn't Bianca, and I was shocked to find out that that's Montez's Ford's daughter, Bianca's stepdaughter. Yeah. Like, I don't know how old she is, but like, wow, she was like the same size as Bianca. I was not expecting that. That was very cool. And then also Rhea Ripley, I loved her entrance as well. It looked like she had some face makeup, like her skin looked a little lighter than it normally is. And she had the Batman Who Laughs-esque,
that's what that was.
That's
I was
what
trying
it
to
was.
figure it out. Yeah, the crown. Yeah, she looked sweet with the veil. Yeah, she had the veil too. Yeah, no, she looked awesome.
So that's what that reference was. Very heavy metal, badass, totally up Rhea's alley. And as far as I know, I haven't seen anyone do the Batman who Laughs kind of in wrestling yet. So like very cool entrance for her.
Yeah. Real quick, I want to shout out JL in the comments. Welcome back, dude. Jay saying this was an underwhelming evening. I don't think I'm going to disagree.
I think it was better than last night, but again, the FOMO never really hit me. Having met Joe Hendry in person, if I hadn't met him and I was a super huge fan, then maybe the FOMO would hit me, and we'll get there. Sorry, I blew up that spot.
I think everyone's watched the show by now. It's okay.
I'm just invested in SummerSlam. I hope that's a great show, and I hope that's worth going to, because I think a lot of us here at the pod have every intention of going to that.
Oh yeah, that's right. They announced it's in the Meadowlands. So yeah, hopefully we
Two
can
nights.
Work that out.
Two nights.
God help us all.
Two Utes.
These two Utes. The what? But yeah, in terms of things that are not underwhelming, again, I think this opening match was great. As Matt's gonna go find something, but I'm gonna be saved because Danny is here. What's up, Danny? How are you this evening?
I'm fucking tired, man. How are you?
I'm doing all right. The Mets got a sweep, so
yeah. So let's go Mets. Fuck the Cardinals. Matt, where's your hair?
It's under this hat. It's under this hat. However much
where's the orange hair? I saw the beginning. You had the wig on.
I'll put it. It's a little itchy and it's a little hot. I'll put it back on when we get to that match.
Okay, fair enough.
But still, two Utes.
Danny, since you joined late, would you like to comment on the main event real quick, or would you like to comment on this Women's World Championship match? Take your pick there.
I'm gonna comment. I'll comment on both. I'm gonna comment on the women's match first because it's more important. This match fucking slapped, bro. This shit was awesome. Should have main evented one of the nights. Either one would have been fine, but this was great. The right person won because if she didn't win, if the story was different, I'd say I want Rhea to win, but the story they told required Io to win because then she would look terrible if she lost this match after being the afterthought.
Agreed.
So the right thing happened. I liked that Bianca showed a more aggressive, angry side. She's leaning a little more heelish without actually going heelish. It'll happen. Give it this summer. It's coming. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be so great too. And it was just really good. Everyone balled out here. I feel bad for the rest of the show because nothing was bad on this show, but it was progressively, aside from the main event, but it was progressively downhill from here because this match was just maybe one of the two triple threats was the match of WrestleMania. Take your pick.
Somewhat dull is what I would call the evening as it went on.
Yeah, I had definitely better than night one though.
That's what I had been saying before you got on. I will say I do remember one specific. Io did something from the top rope to land onto Rhea, and Rhea put her foot up. A pretty standard move.
It was a moonsault. It was an over the moonsault, and Io just sold it like death.
It just looked like she just ate shit from Rhea. And I guess Rhea's got long legs, so I don't know what it was, but it was just fantastic. I was like, holy crap, that looked like it hurt.
Just the way Io landed perfectly, where she hit the boots and just the way she fell, it was unbelievable. I mean, she, for my money, has the best moonsault in the game. So it's not surprising that she also has the best moonsault reversal cell in the game.
Well, no, Matt's right though, because Rhea has long ass legs, so her kicking up from the ground is still about as tall as Io, who is not tall. So Rhea got her feet almost Io's exact height standing up straight. So it looked brutal. He's right. That was a good spot in a match full of really good spots, but it was so good on such a basic move. So Matt's absolutely right there. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, good call. Yeah, no, there was a lot of good spots in this. But real quick, Danny, did you want to comment on the main event?
Yeah. Stupid.
I was gonna say, there we go. All right, let's move on. No, go ahead.
No, that's about it. That shit was not good. I mean, I didn't expect much because, it's John Cena. He's not the best wrestler. Like, I don't know how many years we had to chant that for it to sink in for people, but like, this wasn't much, and this was weird. I don't mind Travis Scott being there, but him being the only guy and how heavy of a role he had is kind of lame. Like that was a letdown. I get that The Rock only loves wrestling when he needs to reheat his image when his movies flop, but like he really should have been there or not been a part of the heel turn. Like it just was weird. But whatever. It is what it is.
Travis Scott didn't help. I mean, I would say like Kevin Federline is more intimidating than Travis Scott.
Hey, did anyone ever die at a Kevin Federline concert? Okay, I don't want to.
I'm just saying Kevin Federline has a win over John Cena, and everyone seemed to like working with him when he was there. Even if he's talentless.
Yeah, Team Britney though. Fuck Kevin Federline.
No doubt about that. No doubt about that.
But yeah, I wasn't. I didn't care at this point. Like it just had to happen. Whatever happened, whatever. I'd rather Cody have won because LOL, Cena sucks. But it is what it is. I wish James was there. I guess he doesn't love John Cena enough, but
apparently he loves Star Wars more.
Yeah, I guess some things are more important than John Cena.
I think if you put that on paper, like if you're like, okay, James, you have the option to go to Star Wars Celebration, or you get to see, in Japan, or you get to see John Cena win his his 17th world title in Las Vegas at WrestleMania, he might reconsider. I did want to say one more thing about that main event. What was it? Fuck. I keep going and I'll remember.
I'll say while you think about it, I just assumed Danny wanted to spend at least 20 seconds laughing at James.
Well, I don't know if he's here or not. He hasn't commented in a while. So.
Oh yeah, he was. He's probably busy. It's like I think noon over there, so he's actually probably in the middle of something. He's probably at a panel right now, watching Ahmad Best talk about something or whatever.
I did remember what I wanted to say. It was that the reason I predicted that John was going to win tonight, because we've talked about the pod earlier, like I definitely thought there was no way he was winning if they were both faces. I was still pretty sure Cody was going to win after the heel turn. It was the fact that the two confrontations they had in the ring, Cody came out on top both times. And rules of opposite momentum, if you come out looking out on top before the pay-per-view or the PLE or whatever, you're not winning that PLE.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that was the thing that's what I said that before the match started. I was like, I have Cody winning because I think it's a better story for Cena. But the one thing that worries me is Cena hasn't gotten a single shot in on Cody this entire build.
Since the heel turn itself, yeah.
Yeah, since the heel turn. And that was what was worrying me. And unfortunately, the dark side won. So,
but that also made me think that The Rock was going to show up because both those times The Rock wasn't there. He hasn't really been brought up. So it's like, okay, he's got to come out of Mania. And then he doesn't come out because he doesn't love us or you, the listener. He does not care about us unless we are buying
the cameras are rolling
to his movies. And no one's buying tickets to his movies because they're not good. So like
rough. I didn't think Red One was that bad, but I am biased because I was at the premiere and I met him. So
I also can't watch half of them because they're on Netflix, and I can't get into my Netflix anymore because of the location sharing bullshit. So,
okay, so it's not your Netflix then, right?
Well, it's my mom's. Well, it's the family Netflix account, but yeah, my mom has it, and I'm not gonna fight her for it. I get in like once every 3 months, and I stay up for like 12 hours watching as much as I possibly can on Netflix, and then I'm locked out the next day.
Cobra Kai.
No, last thing I watched I watched the Vince doc and then the Red Sox 04 World Series doc.
Nice.
Wild.
All in one shot.
You know, okay, I'm gonna go on a very, very small tangent, but
Hang
the
on, let me
Red
hit the
Sox
button.
winning the World Series in 2004 was, first of all, beautiful. The amazing World Series. We're Mets fans here on the pod, but you know, we have that kinship with Boston because there are our brothers that hate the same team.
Yep.
But
Team fought the Yankees.
them winning was such a huge deal that it like permeated pop culture. Like, remember we had the movie like Fever Pitch by like Jimmy Fallon and shit.
Yep.
But more crazily to me is that it became a reference in Lost in a way to prove that life outside of the island existed. He told Jack that the Red Sox had just won the 2004 World Series, and he was like, "Well, now I know you're lying." And then he showed him footage of it, and that was how we proved that they had connections with outside of the island. And I'm like, that's insane that they fucking wrote that into the show, because that's how crazy the Red Sox winning the World Series was as a premise in 2004.
Two things, I guess, to continue on that. One, Kevin Belair in that doc was amazing. I'm surprised. He might have a podcast, but he's hilarious. And two, I watched that World Series. I had just moved from the Bronx to upstate, and I watched that World Series on a antenna, like mini portable TV on like a 5-inch screen. Like just holding the antenna to make sure I can get the signal down from the city.
God, we're old.
Yep. I missed those TVs. They were really cool. But all right, let's not get bogged down too much and head into our next match. We saw Damien Priest face off against Drew McIntyre in a Sin City street fight. I really liked this. I thought both of these dudes died a couple of times, and I especially thought Priest died on the finish when he got claymored into a chair that was stuck up in between the turnbuckles in the corner. That thud sold this for me, Matt. I thought he really died. There was some great spots with this involving the steps. Priest went through a couple of tables on the outside. This was a whole lot of fun. I really, really liked this match. And I was a little surprised you won. I think I predicted Damien was going to win because I do like the idea of somebody just having somebody's number, although I guess we got that last night with Seth. But Drew finally gets his payback for Damien for everything that's gone on since last year's WrestleMania. So I think storyline-wise, it made a lot of sense, and I very much enjoyed it.
Yeah, this was a good match, and I think it played well. You know, they say that being number 2 on the card is like the worst spot.
It's a tough spot, yeah.
These guys owned it, and I think they should be both proud of themselves. And I hope McIntyre isn't too down in the dumps, because we heard that like maybe he wasn't thrilled about working with Priest. But I think they both delivered. They were both like heavy hitters in a stipulation that requires heavy hitting. And both these guys delivered, and I joined it. And I think the right guy won, and I predicted he was going to win. Also, shout out to Drew McIntyre's brother. That was a fun, stupid spot that Austin Theory is just probably like, that's my thing. And it's like, Austin Theory, you haven't taken a selfie in like 2 years. It's over.
That's NXT Theory. That's not a main roster theory.
No, he was main roster, but he hasn't done it in quite a while.
Speaking of, what was it, Red One or Red Notice, whatever, the fucking egg shit?
Yes.
Red Notice was the egg shit. Red One was the Santa Claus one.
I didn't see Red Notice. Red One was actually like halfway decent. It's not, considering how bad the reviews were, I'm like, it's nothing outstanding, but like you could put this in a Christmas movie marathon and I wouldn't question why it was there.
I didn't hate Red Notice. I had a few beers, watched it.
You have a few beers with everything.
That's true.
Sorry.
Only on the weekends. Only on the weekends, Mom.
Good. I won't watch Red Notice. No, thank you.
It wasn't good.
But speaking of watching things, Danny, how did you enjoy this match here today?
Oh, amazing segue. Great work.
Thank you.
It was good. It was as good as it needed to be, considering that this was a match that everyone was kind of indifferent about. Like, everyone thought that Drew deserved better, and I think a good amount of people thought Damien deserved better too. Not like they're not good enough for each other, but if this story didn't meet the hard work they both put in over the last year. So they had something to prove, and they did a good job. It wasn't like mind blowing, but it was good. It was a great follow up. Like having these two matches start the show really set the tone as compared to last night, where the first two matches set a very different tone that I did not enjoy.
Same.
But this was good. I agree. I love the Drew selfie spot. If he's going to do that every Mania, I'm all here for it. Because I get it, bro. Who doesn't tweet when they're bored at work? You know, that's the most relatable thing in the world. So good on them. Good on Priest. I was watching because it is a holiday here in America. So like, and in a lot of places. I was on about 420, but all right.
That too.
That's funny.
I was with my family celebrating, of course.
I thought you were talking about Eric's birthday.
Oof, sorry, Eric. At least one person was there. I know he wasn't completely alone. So he's probably not going to kill himself tonight, so that's good. But yeah, I was watching this with my family. Like, we're celebrating the holiday, having our.
I'm trying to get it to do the meme thing where like the fireworks show up, but it's not happening.
There, you gotta
to show up.
You got a bubble.
Yeah, that's something. But I was explaining to them. I was like, yeah, like this guy, he's from New York. It's pretty cool. We call him bisexual Undertaker. He's pretty, he's pretty cool. He's not gonna win here, but he's pretty cool. But the right guy won, and the match was fun. I wish Drew had more, but hey, this was good. So
it was better than last year's street fight at Mania. I will say that.
Wait, what was last year's street fight?
It was the Final Testament versus the Pride.
Oh, Pride. Oh my God. Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
I genuinely can't even remember who was in either of those teams.
Well,
it was
Bobby
Cross,
and the Street
right?
Profits.
Yeah, it was the third match of night 2 of Mania, and BFAB had one spot and she botched it.
Yeah, I don't remember night 2 outside of the payment.
That one I really wanted. I wanted it to be Legado del Fantasma versus LWO versus Final Testament versus the Pride, and hell, throw the women in there so it's 4 versus 4 versus 4 versus 4. It would be fucking insane.
That would have been fun. At a certain point, you just got to be fun. And honestly, though, I thought this was fun tonight. This match, I had a lot of fun watching this match. And sometimes you just need to have like the fun, big violent spot matches. And that's what we got out of these two men. And I thought they did a phenomenal job with it. So
absolutely.
Speaking of phenomenal.
We'll get
those next.
That's later.
It was not AJ, but that would have been a great thing. So allow me to try to remember that. What was next though, and what was also I thought a very good match. We had the Intercontinental Championship match in a fatal 4-way. Braun Breaker versus Penta. Also, I'm wondering if they can now call him Pentagon since they acquired AAA, but. Whatever.
Good point. Yeah.
Versus Finn Balor versus Dominik Mysterio. And we had Dirty Dom steal one, pinning Finn Balor for the dub. Danny, this didn't go the way we predicted it. We thought Finn and Dom would obviously have a split there. But it ended up turning out where the split happened with Dom pinning Finn and winning. Either way, though, it was still... I still had a lot of fun watching this match. I thought it was very good. Everyone hit their spots very well and everything. The only thing I didn't like was I thought there would be a little more build-up to Dom finally going after Finn. And it was just kind of like him, like kind of looking at him and then trying to go for the 619. And then Finn didn't even just be like, what the hell? He was just like, and then hit him. So I wish there was a little more build-up and drama with that. A little more sports entertainment with it. But other than that,
up a bit,
other than that, this was a great, very well wrestled match. It did have enough drama where I liked it. And Dom becomes an Intercontinental Champion for the first time.
But I think this is actually how I predicted it. I'm pretty sure I said Dom was going to pin Finn because, they don't call him Pin Balor for nothing, bro. Like,
Yeah. You did
he's
say Finn was going to get pinned. You did have that. I just didn't think it'd be by Dom.
I'm pretty sure I thought it was going to be by Dom because, I mean, finally, you gotta. It's been years. How long does this guy have to get the most heat to win a real title? Like he's earned it.
Hey, the North American Championship is literally the best looking title in WWE.
I mean, it's up there. It's definitely up there, but it's still an NXT title.
I'd hear that argument. That's a good argument.
I think the women's one.
It's got a point, Sting.
Better. Well, I think all the women's titles look better because I like the white strap more. But
that's why I missed the old white strap IC title. That thing was the best.
My favorite, maybe my favorite title. But I thought this match went more or less how I thought it was gonna go. Braun's not getting pinned, and although I think he was my second favorite to win because if you're not going to put him in the main event, keep the IC title on him. But hey, who knows? Jay needs some contenders, and Jay's not going to have a long title reign, so maybe Braun is going to be world champion by the summer. You never know. But this match was fun. Good on Penta for being there. He did his stuff. It was normal Penta stuff. Nothing unbelievable, but good because it's Penta. Finn was there, Depressing to think about how far Finn has fallen, but I've long accepted it, so it doesn't really get to me anymore. This is just I expect to see Finn be the one to get beat up all the time, be the guy to get pinned, to never win anything big again, and that's just an unfortunate reality of life. All the best parts of NXT from 10 years ago, Finn, Nakamura.
Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens at least gets some things. But,
yeah. He gets like to face Stone Cold. Matt, you turned sideways, by the way.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, you're looking at us sideways, man. What the hell? But fun match. The right winner, the right person getting pinned. Again, great start to the show. These probably the best 3 matches of the night in that order specifically. So I'm on board with this. Let Dom. I know we were cheering him, but we need to go back to giving him nuclear heat because it's going to be more fun that way. But he earned it this night, so we'll give him his cheers and his flowers.
I think he should start treating Liv like shit, and also they need to make out some more. Like they made out once at SummerSlam. Like no one's buying this relationship.
I don't think that's true. I think a lot of people are way too invested in a relationship.
I also think they're trying to give Dom.
Man.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're trying to give Dom a little bit of the benefit of the doubt here, where, as Danny just said, he is married. Like Dom and Rhea never really made out that much. They did the makeout thing at SummerSlam last year with Liv to really sell it, but I think
Dom and Rhea never.
Yeah, they never ever, and that was the joke. It was like, okay, she's your mommy, but are you getting any? They've implied that
she licked his face.
Okay, so what?
Buddy,
it was heavily implied that Dom was getting pegged. Okay, and he definitely was.
Yeah, and I'm not. Again, I've said it on the pod before. I don't need them to be making out every single week. But you can only do so much with the Eskimo kisses or the kisses on the cheek. And what are you, brothers and sisters? What is this?
I think it's more. I think it's more annoying that they teased tension between them and it never was followed up on or paid off. Now everything's just fine again.
Well, that's why I think they should do something here differently. Again, maybe he starts treating her like shit, and that would help with the heat. Again, just be like, well, I won a title at WrestleMania and you lost yours. So who's wearing the pants in this relationship?
I think it's going to go the opposite way. I think Liv is going to start treating Dom like shit, and we're just going to get a babyface Dom.
So I think before any of that happens, there's going to have to be the split with Finn and the Judgment Day and that fracture, and then
that's
you'll
gonna happen
eventually,
soon.
and then you'll eventually get the Liv and Dom split. But honestly, I was thinking in my head that like Dom always has to turn heel, even if he's already heel, he can always turn more heel. So him turning heel on Finn works. Him then turning heel on Liv works. The only problem is, I think at a certain point, the fans are just going to start cheering him, even though he's a schmuck, the same way they started cheering Eddie. He can lie and cheat and steal. He was being like ceremoniously applauded when he won this title tonight. So I don't know. I know you guys keep saying heel turn, and I would love for him to be a lifetime heel. It would be really funny. The opposite of his father, more or less, at least his WWE run. But I don't know, man. I think you're gonna have to turn him face. The crowd is actually kind of starting to love him just
That's
because.
what I said. I said Liv is gonna turn on him, and he's gonna turn face because of it.
We'll see.
She's gonna abuse him mentally and probably physically too.
Pegging.
Matt, you did have a good point though. It's like you lost the title, I won my title. I think that might be down the road, but
no, I think that starts on Monday or tomorrow.
Yeah. Maybe the seeds will be planted, but you got to do the Finn thing first, and then
it's Triple H, so it's gonna take fucking 8 months for anything significant to happen. I'm gonna say this later, but I also want to say this now. I hate Triple H, bro. Like, always have,
Triple H.
We fucking hate Triple H.
Get the
I've never felt more
bricks.
seen. But we can move on. I'll keep saying fuck Triple H sporadically.
Fair enough.
Self-indulgent motherfucker.
Real quick, because Penta was in this match, and now we have a couple more people here. I did want to quickly talk about WWE acquiring AAA. Matt, I'm not sure if you covered this last night. I do apologize.
I didn't. Don't worry.
Oh, okay. No, because I think this is a seriously seismic shift in the wrestling world, and I did at least want to try to speak on it a little bit, because this is nuts. I know I've been seeing a lot of people within like the Mexican wrestling Twitter sphere, for lack of a better phrase, tweeting out how bad this is for wrestling. I do think it could be a bit of a problem, and I don't think I know enough to speak on it, but it seems like this could be a bad thing, Matt.
Yeah, I couldn't really speak on it either. It'd be cool if Penta could become Pentagon again. I would say if they do have the rights, just hold off until you want to do Penta Dark, or what was he? Pentagon Dark? I don't know.
Pentagon Dark. And
I would
Junior,
say
it was both. That was Lucha Underground and AAA, because they get Lucha Underground too, which is bananas.
Yeah, I know that I don't like that Disney basically has everything. I think monopolies are typically not good. So yeah, I don't particularly love WWE owning another wrestling company, even if it's one that I don't really follow. And again, we've talked about the TNA relationship, the partnership, and we'll talk about it tonight, although I might tap out before that because I've got work.
Don't
tomorrow.
worry, that's next.
Yeah, no, okay, I can stick around for that. I'll stick around for Becky, and then or that's probably the last thing anyway. But regardless,
pretty much.
So yeah, there's like partnerships are good, but they're like relationships. They gotta be equal-handed. Both have to benefit, and you can't take advantage of the other partner, and that's the TNA partnership is I think there's issues with it for sure.
Yeah,
and who's to say with CML? They own it now, so I don't again, I can't really speak on it, but it's probably not great.
Yeah, and this is different too. It's not even a partnership like it is with TNA. They just bought them outright. So TNA has a little bit of say in what's going on, as opposed to AAA now, Danny, where they're just flat out owned. So I don't think it's great. The only maybe benefit is we get Lucha Underground on Peacock or Netflix, maybe, because the only way to watch that right now is somebody puts up a Dropbox every once in a while, and then it gets shut down within 2 months. But I don't think I like this at all.
Nope, not a lot of good feelings going around about that. I don't see it as a good thing. I am weary of it. I also do not know enough to truly speak on it, so I don't want to speak super definitively, but I don't trust the major corporation buying another company. Like Matt said, monopolies are pretty bad. Disney kind of sucks, you know? I don't like the idea of WWE. I love the idea of them purchasing tape libraries. You want to get Lucha Underground's library? That's great. That actually helps preserve history. But buying an active company, granted, Conan's trying his best to make it not a active and profiting company, but buying an act that's not good. They are just going for their Triple H's dumbass coined phrase of global localization. He's really still going for it. He won't give up on that stupid fucking dream.
They just showed the EO getting kicked in the face by Rhea, followed by the KOD. Thank God Rhea was there to break it off, because there's no way you can kick out of that.
It was so good, honestly. That's one of those ones that could be like, you remember when Rhea countered that moonsault?
Yeah.
I did want to shout out Daniel in the comments with a good one. Start a Mil Muertes undefeated streak at WrestleMania. Make him Spanish on the shaker. I like that. But I did want to read something. This was a tweet from, I'm going to butcher this, Rock'em Bole Jr. As Mil Mascara said, the day the American market enters, Mexican wrestling will die in its essence.
Yikes.
And that's an old quote that was brought back. So, yeah, it's really weird, you know?
Who's their world champ right now? Is it Alberto Del Patron?
Yeah.
So will he get fired immediately?
If WWE wants to make a good faith move, they would do that.
And if they want to bring Saraya / Paige back, I think they would have to, if that is indeed in the cards. But yeah, it's weird. AAA has always been an independent thing. Like, they were booked independently. Like, who's getting the book now? Like, is this just a thing like WWE is going to own them and let them operate on their own and just kind of reap the profits? Like, are they going to get really involved? There is a whole lot there, and obviously this is very new and we don't know. But as far as I understand, that announcement last night, and granted, I was at the Met game when it was announced, so I didn't see everything in its entirety. It seemed a little, tone deaf. They just basically pulled out every Mexican wrestler they can find for the announcement, even if they weren't involved in AAA, and had them there for the announcement. Seeing Vikingo on WWE television was wild.
That blew he got to go into the ring. It blew my mind.
Yeah, with Ray Phoenix, which also, I understand Mysterio got hurt, but I cannot believe Ray Phoenix lost. But still wild seeing both Lucha Brothers on WrestleMania.
But still, they both got on the card, which is awesome. I just feel bad for Dragon Lee. Like, bro should ask for his release right now, or ask to go to CMLL. Be like, bro, or send me to AAA. I'll be the new world champion there.
Yeah. And I also, I believe it was Lucha Blog that said this over on Twitter, and he's one of the best sources for, American-speaking sources for the stuff that goes down there in Mexican wrestling. He was pretty much just like Triple H said in the press conference, like, we want to preserve traditional Lucha Libre. And he's like, the whole reason AAA got started was to break away from the traditional Lucha Libre because, it wasn't working and guys wanted to do new stuff. And now you want to do traditional. It's like, you're kind of missing the point here. So
yeah, that's not a great sign.
Yeah. Daniel in the comments and Subscotch. On a serious note, I really do not want Lucha Libre to be WWE and I love America, but we do ruin some things, and Mexican wrestling will be one of them. Or yeah, do not want Lucha Libre. So yeah, and I agree. Like, look, we'll see what happens. I think we're just all immediately thinking worst case scenario. We could be wrong. We could be. But I don't think WWE has given us any reason to think that we won't be. So
I mean, look at ECW, what they did. The situation, honestly, for me, and it's I think this goes for any kind of like situation like this where a big company buys a little company that people want to continue in the same respect. Just give them a budget and slap your logo onto them, but like let everything else continue to be the same. And that's how you do it. Like if it's successful, like if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of deal. But don't, overdo it with the, sorry, I'm getting tired, man. Let's move on.
All right. You know what, Matt, just for you, I'm going to skip a few things.
Sweet.
Oh, well, it depends. I'll let you pick. Do you want to do the Becky one or do you want to do the Randy Orton mystery match one?
I think he's answered.
Imagine I come back with the Joe Hendry wig and I do the whoosh, So let's do Becky Lynch, and then I'll hop off and I'll let you guys do Joe Hendry.
All right, we'll help you out here. So
thank you.
After a couple of matches, we got to the WWE Women's World Tag Team Championship match. We saw Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez defend against a name I spelled wrong, and now I'm just noticing that because I have fat fingers. It was Lyra Valkyria, and it was supposed to be Bayley, which completely threw off our predictions, Danny. And obviously, she was replaced by the man, Becky Lynch. I had some people tell me that they were a little disappointed that, Bayley got bumped off the card, even if it was for Becky. I don't care. It was fucking Becky. As much as I love Bayley, Bex is the best. And we had Becky.
So if I could real quick go ahead,
Danny. We're all Becky fans here. We're all love the man. So
here's the thing. I'm upset for Bayley too. I think Bayley deserves better. This is not a 1-to-1 correlation. This is not, shouldn't be mad at Becky Lynch for this. Okay, because without Becky, this is a nothing filler match that you should have been mad for Bayley before that. You should have been mad for Lyra before that, because why is she competing in a throwaway match for the tag titles? You should have been mad for Liv before that, because Liv worked her ass off last year. Why is she relegated to a meaningless tag match again? You should feel happy for Raquel that she's on the card, but you should have been mad before this. This is not on Becky. Okay, look, this sucks for Bayley, but it's two different things. This match doesn't matter if Becky Lynch isn't involved. Becky Lynch being involved made this a much bigger deal. It got it pushed towards higher on the card. Otherwise, this would have been the second match of the night.
It was the second to last match. It was the Stone Cold thing, and then the main event.
Yeah, but it would have been the second match on the card. It would have been right after the opener, according to the rundown we got beforehand.
Yeah.
Before this change. So, it benefits. It gets Lyra. This is a bigger deal for Lyra. Lyra benefits more from this because her and Bayley would not have won this match. So, this is a net positive for Lyra. It's technically a bigger deal for Liv, even though Liv fans will be just be mad that she got pinned. But it's at least meaningful for her. It's a storyline wrapping up for her. So and then fuck it, now we get singles Liv again because Liv's been putting on. This is a benefit for everyone but Bayley. But you should have been mad on Bayley's behalf even before she got taken out of this match, because she's been getting disrespected for a calendar year. So why are you just mad now? Be mad for longer. Be don't take it out on Becky. This is not on Becky. Anyway, continue, Rev, so that Matt can give his opinions on this, because we're all dressed for the occasion, but
Yeah, well, I already mentioned my the man shirt doesn't fit me, and honestly, I probably should have grabbed my Irish Gaelic football jersey before we started the pod, but so I could just put it on real quick. But no, I agree with you, Danny. Like, I don't think if anyone's going to be upset, they should have been upset with Bayley's booking longer than that. But I do think it does lend to now a future Becky Bayley feud and match, which will probably be great. But in terms of the here and now, Matt, I think I like this match because for two reasons. One, Lyra got to go in there with her mentor Becky and win the titles. And two, the Irish won the titles. I'm fucking happy, guy. We were celebrating. I didn't have any Guinness or Jameson on hand, so I cracked open a block of Irish cheddar and was eating that. I went to Stu Leonard's the other day. I grabbed some. So we were celebrating that way. But I'm so thrilled Bex won. I'm thrilled Lyra won. I'm a big fan of hers. Go Bird Lady. So I don't even remember what happened in this match. I just know I was fucking so hyped.
So yeah, it was fun. I thought this was Lyra's best outfit yet, and then I saw someone post a side-by-side picture of her and the Pigeon Boys, aka the Birds of War from Always Sunny, and I'm like,
clap, stomp, clap.
She just can't. I just this gimmick of being like this bird is just never gonna work for me. I don't get it. It just seems silly, but she's likable.
Wait. The funniest fucking Sean Ross Sapp actually had the funniest tweet about it where he put a tweet out and he's like, every time Lyra gets punched, and it's the video of Randy Johnson exploding a bird with a fastball because every time she took a bump, feathers were falling off of her outfit. It was so funny.
That is funny. Yeah, she's gonna have to evolve at some point, and maybe then that's when I'll really be able to get behind her like 100%. But I certainly don't dislike her. This is a cool combo, having them together and having them be tag champs. I certainly think it's more interesting than her and Bayley. I thought for sure going into this match before the injury, the kayfabe injury, that they were just going to lose and that Bayley was going to turn heel tonight and like just beat up Lyra after the match. Like I thought that's what they were going for, which would have been predictable and fine, but nothing like I'd be excited to see. This is much more exciting. I just have to point out though that Chelsea Green was not on the WrestleMania card whatsoever, and it was
ask you about that.
absolute bullshit. Like she could have easily hosted this show. I thought, like, basically, I talked about it last night on the pod. It was Bayley gets hurt, and I'm like, okay, who can replace her? Chelsea, she's also a mid-card champion. And maybe she convinces Lyra to take her on. And then after I thought that, they had this Chime commercial on the WrestleMania feed featuring Becky Lynch in a wrestling scenario. And I'm like, well, Becky Lynch is coming back now. Like, why wouldn't you save this commercial for Monday? You just gave it away. You gave it away that Becky Lynch is coming back. Dumb. I don't care how much money you're making. Save that commercial for Monday and get some other sponsor to do the commercial for Mania.
Well,
overall,
the thing is, Matt, that Chelsea couldn't have hosted WrestleMania because they had to use that time they could have had a host to throw two ads and celebrities in the crowd. And that's clearly more entertaining for us as fans because we just love seeing celebrities from random Netflix shows we've never watched. You know, and that's what's really important. It's not about the wrestlers and the wrestling. It's about ads and just how many things can we advertise between these annoying wrestling matches we have to have.
Don't forget 49 ends.
Yeah, we got to have 15 minutes of throwing to celebrities and ads before we can have a 12-minute wrestling match. Because, God, if that wrestling match goes longer than 12 minutes, they're going to be pissed backstage because that could have been time they could have been selling ads. Because that's all the show was fucking ads. Sorry, Matt, continue.
No, you're right. You're right. It's ridiculous. Like we even had times where like there were no ads. It's like Peacock's like the show was starting again soon. And I'm like, what is going on? Just show somebody else in the back. Do something. Do anything.
Yeah, and, like have an interview or something. Like I literally started this, I think 45 minutes to an hour late, and I caught up by the Orton match or the Logan Paul match.
Yeah, there was times where like I walked away for 10 minutes to do like social media for the pod, and I'm like, oh man, I wonder what I missed. And it would be like the second person's entrance. It's like, oh well, I didn't really miss anything. Okay. I think at the very least we should have had a spot with Lyra backstage, and maybe Chelsea comes up to her. It's like, I could totally be your partner, and like Lyra's like, thanks, no thanks. Like that would have been something. And this weekend, Chelsea Green. We love you. We love talking to you on the pod. Please keep answering our DMs. She was the only champion in WWE who did not perform this weekend, whether it was NXT Stand and Deliver or WrestleMania nights 1 or 2. Only women's champion who did not make an appearance, which is fucking insane because she's on all the commercials. She makes like anytime they're like, hey, we need you to show up to like this NASCAR or like some random ass event in like Ho Bank, whatever. She's there. She's going to be at Fanatics Fest. She's obviously popular. Like, why wouldn't you put her on the show on some sort of capacity? Regardless, it was a good match. Welcome back, Becky Lynch. I wish you would have come back at SummerSlam and faced Lyra in a open challenge and beat her for the title. That would have been my way of you coming back. But this is also good.
I do want to quickly shout out Chelsea for wearing a Michael Ruzioni jersey at the signing this weekend because she's the president and she wore the Team USA jersey.
Yeah, the USA, yeah.
But I also want to go to the comments, say what up to Maria. Thank you for joining us as always. Maria said that Lyra should have been defending her IC Women's Championship against Becky instead of the tag team. And then instead of having Bayley being taken out, she should have fought Chelsea. I think that's a fair argument. That's one way you could have done it. I understand what they're setting up for here, which is why I'm not arguing against it, at least in terms of the tag match, the way it worked out. But Chelsea 100% should have been on the show in some way, shape, or form, because as you said, Matt, she has been great with all the media stuff. I'm sure you saw her CVV interview where she was like, I kind of want to be female Miz, and that's a compliment, Danny, before you say anything. But she's like, you can
aim higher, Chelsea.
You can slot him into any situation, heel, face, but he's, a front-facing media
he's
guy.
Not a good face. You can't slot him into face
he's done
situations.
He has done it.
Not well.
His face thing with Shane McMahon was great, and they dropped the ball on that.
But
Shane carried. That's the crazy part.
Bro, just watch them at the Hall of Fame. That interaction with the back and forth between, the focusing on Shane and focusing on Miz. It was great.
That was the top page of Reddit the other day. But I think she meant more in terms of like the media stuff, where she's able to go out there and be a front-facing person for WWE. And I respect that. And with that, you're right. You'd think you'd have that person on the WrestleMania show. Not even the card necessarily, but at least the show. So I thought that was pretty whack, even if we've gotten a little off track on the match here.
No, it's okay. There's like two different ways. Like this really could have gone. Like she could have easily had a match on the show. Absolutely. It could have easily been against a legend where she gets embarrassed because look, at the end of the day, if she was going to be on the show in any way, shape, or form, yes, it was going to be in that sort of role where she gets a like instant comeuppance, immediate comeuppance, because that's what her character thrives at. So like even if it was a match, she would have got squashed, and that would have been okay because like she said, she's aiming for that. She's more like a serious Santino than a Miz because she's better than Miz. But
threads a needle there.
yeah. Or she could have just been in a backstage segment, like like Matt said, trying to get Lyra to accept her as a tag partner, only to be denied, and that's fine because that's the type of thing. WrestleMania used to have an occasional backstage segment, like back in the day. It wasn't just all fucking self-fellatio in front of the crowd bragging about gates and in an arena where you priced out your like biggest portion of the fan base because who the fuck can afford any of those seats besides the nosebleeds? Fucking insane shit. But to get back to the match, It was good. It was exactly what it needed to be. Lyra took most of the heat because Becky's coming back from a year off.
Yeah.
Becky gets the hot tag, runs wild. Maybe one of the top 5 manhandle slams she's ever hit, honestly. Liv got a lot of air for that, which is good because a lot of time the girls do not get air for that and it doesn't look as good.
Liv,
but
low-key ups.
yeah, especially in the past year, she's just really started jumping a lot more. She's out there, but yeah, like I said, it's unfortunate for Bayley, not in the way people are getting mad at, but just overall, bro, I'm sorry you didn't get to be in the meaningless match you would have had at Mania, but now you have a story to hopefully sink your teeth into. It'll be fine in the end. But it's good that people are getting behind Bayley because, I love Bayley still, so I'm glad she's getting it. But I'm so happy Becky's back, and it's just good. It's going to be good for Lyra, and yeah, it was a fine match. It was exactly what it needed to be, which is just leading up to the person who just returned getting a hot tag, and that's all it needed.
Sounds good, boys. This is where I have to hop off because I really have to go to bed because I got work in the morning.
I appreciate it. But Matt, before you do go, Maria agrees with you. Chelsea is the not being on the card is just plain stupid. So I wanted to get that in there for you.
Well said, Maria. Thank you for agreeing with me. I think a lot of people thought that Lyra and Becky were going to have a match for the title tonight, like when Lyra won the title, but Becky just hadn't come back. So it's okay, I thought they were going to postpone until SummerSlam, and maybe they still will do that. But Becky's back now. She's a tag champ, so good for her. Good for Lyra. Decent WrestleMania overall, but definitely we've had some complaints and that you've heard so far, and I'm sure you guys can complain more without me. So
hit us with the minifig again before you leave.
Oh yes, this was on Matt's minifigs tonight. I'll be doing some more soon, and I've been posting every day in April. So far so good. Thank you for asking. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, Matt, thank you for covering last night. Thank you for doing all the Instagram stuff. We appreciate you. You have a good night.
Thanks, boys.
We'll see you next time.
All right, awesome.
We're gonna be sticking around. Do want to hit the comments before we move on. Eric, I should have put this before Matt left. Throw a pie.
It's funny. I thought that too when he was saying it. Somebody do something.
Somebody do something. Throw a pie.
We can replace that in the intro because he's wearing a wig in this one, so it's even better.
Well, I'm pretty sure Matt cut the intro together, so good luck getting to do another one. Also, Daniel in the comments saying War Raiders as Clash of Clans was truly the best advertisement I've ever seen. Top tier attires worn by those two. It's funny, that. I believe that was last night. It was last night. They looked fine, but the fact they just sold out the whole entrance it felt so tacky to me. And the Drew one too. He there was the Doom guy thing, and he kind of looked cool with standing there on the rock.
No, he did not look cool. He did not.
Kind of.
No. He looked like what Triple H thinks is cool.
You know what? That's fair. And I think maybe I lean a little more towards that than you do. So, it's still pretty lame that we're selling entrances because the one I think it was the one against Sting when Triple H came out as Terminator. That made sense. He was he was the authority. That one made sense. Him selling out his entrance. Now you're just selling random wrestlers' entrances, and it's pretty fucking lame just in general.
It is. There was a Xfinity billboard on the stage. That's lame. Everything about the way they do ads is ads are always inherently bad.
Yeah.
But it's getting unbearable at this point. But
welcome to TKO, man. I've been dealing with this nonsense. Trying to watch UFC for the last 10 years, and it's only getting worse. Yeah, Maria agreeing the entrances were overdone. Yeah, they were not great. And I did want to get to Eric's other comment. The women could have main evented even tonight in hindsight. Yeah, honestly, yes, that opening match was arguably the best match of the night this evening. So,
yeah, and it's up there for match of the weekend. It's crazy. I don't want to get tribalistic, but Bro, I'm literally just like, I can't wait for Jamie and Statlander on Wednesday. I'm like, it's just gonna beat everything on this weekend. But like yeah, they could have really given it to the women, but yeah, I don't know. This shit weird.
The airs are indeed ridiculous.
Dude, it's on like the format is terrible. Like, and there's gonna be a quick complaint rant about it, but like watching WWE like pay-per-views now is so brutal to me. Like it's impossible to watch live because so much nothing happens in between. It took like 15 minutes for the first match to start, and that's being generous. Like, and then that match ends, and then it's like 15 minutes till the next one. Why is there so much nothing in between? It used to be, if there was stuff in between matches, it would be a backstage segment and a video package explaining the next match.
Yep.
And now it's like it's ads, cut to celebrities, video package, more nothing, like and nothing of substance, and it's unbearable. I cannot stand that shit. It's so difficult to watch, and like we'll sit here after AEW pay-per-views and be like, bro, give it time to breathe because it'll just be like match, match, match. But like, there's a happy medium, and these companies aren't striking it. It's kind of tough. But yeah, Maria, yeah, the women's triple threat could have main evented night one, and the men's triple. But yeah, we could have done that. I would love to see Roman not main event. Like, I'm really anti-Roman in that regard. So like, yeah, let that motherfucker curtain jerk so we can go home earlier.
I personally think that the men's triple threat last night should have main evented night one, and then just obviously in retrospect, the women's triple threat should have main evented tonight. Or hell, or even if the women's triple threat main evented night one and the men's triple threat main evented night two. Like, I understand John Cena 117, but quality wise, those should have been the two. Both triple threats should have been the main events. Whatever order you want to do it in, I'm not going to argue with you. But
oh man, and not to bring up the whole isn't that one really a main event thing, but did night one of WrestleMania? I know, but then they had a terrible night one. So it's like, yeah, does that feel like WrestleMania to you? Because it felt like a pre-show to WrestleMania last night. So like, this is why I disparage the quality of.
I don't know, man. I got back from the Met game. I went to my buddy's house, and like it was kind of on in the background until the main event. And the main event fucking slapped, but all of my opinions are basically I'm lying, and I'm just going off of what Reddit told me when I woke up this morning. Like I genuinely I watched it, but I didn't watch it, Although then again, I did that last year too.
That's the way to go, honestly. Maybe we should have gone to Eric's birthday party. Sorry, Eric.
I mean, I was going to talk about this later, but screw it, I'll do it. Like, WrestleMania sometimes it feels more like a social occasion. And I know we do a podcast and we should be probably watching the show a bit more, but, I went to watch with my friends last night. I watched with my cousins tonight. Like, it's a social thing. You want to hang out and have a good time. And sometimes you're not necessarily full-blown focused on the pay-per-view. And you're talking to people. And last night I was a lot less focused on the pay-per-view, especially because we had non-wrestling fans in the crowd. But tonight we were a little more focused. I watched a little bit more. And I obviously wasn't doing the pod last night because I was in Queens. But,
yeah, makes sense.
So I don't know. The show last night, I had a good time. And that's how I'm going to remember it. Maybe the wrestling wasn't great, but whatever. All right, let's get back on track here. We got to double back a little bit for the Randy Orton match. And obviously, he was supposed to face Kevin Owens. Kevin got that unfortunate neck injury. And again, we send our best wishes to him. So Randy came out, cut a quick promo, and basically said, whoever wants to challenge me. And Danny, boy, were we wrong about Nick Aldis coming out because somebody had to say his name, and he appeared, and Joe Hendry, the TNA World Champion, came out to challenge Randy Orton. And I really wish James was here because I'm sure he would have a 20-minute diatribe about this. Personally, I understand why James is going to be mad, but I was so sports entertained by this match. It was probably a little too short. I would have liked it to be longer, but Joe got his shit in. Randy and him, I really made me laugh. They had like good like physical comedy chemistry. Randy did a great job putting Joe over after the match. And Joe like legitimately cried at like how moved he was, and then got hit with another RKO. But the finish of the match with Joe doing the turn and that camera angle where Randy just floated in and hit the RKO for the dub was pure comedy. It was this was for me as a viewer great. For a TNA fan. I've heard from a couple people. I heard they did Joe dirty. He got jobbed. I do think this is another example of the WWE TNA partnership is not good for TNA. But again, I was so entertained by this match. I don't really care right now.
Yeah, okay. So I think the match was garbage, but highly entertaining. They squashed the shit out of Joe Hendry, the TNA World Champion, mind you. Absolute garbage. Completely hilarious and entertaining though. So like, you know, I like Joe Hendry. I do. He's one of the guys I have been a fan of since like the indie days. You know, because I'm like, oh, he sang a Pokemon parody. He did, you know, he sang this parody, that parody that you know caters to me as a fan. So like,
the Drew when it was blue by Eiffel 65. That
yeah,
one, that was great. The Miley Cyrus one was great.
Yeah. So like, I've been a Joe fan for a while, and I've been on record saying that I think he's a bit of a dork in the way he panders to the WWE like thing. Like, I think the way he handles that is lame, but not like in a disparaging way to him. You know, like, so I'm like, he's a fucking like, he like sells all of his self-respect to like get anything from WWE, but like that's kind of fine. Like it's okay that he does that. I just think it needs to be said. Like I always have to point out that I think he's like a bit. I think him and Jordan Grace are both a bit of like sellouts, just not in like a super disparaging way where I'm like, you're trying too hard, and that bothers me as a person who hates effort. But you know, that's a.
I mean, so you won't even put your camera on. You clearly hate effort.
Absolutely. So, you know, but Hendry like memed his way into multiple WWE appearances, including now Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. So you have to respect that. Like that is hard work. It's hard work that it's easy to make fun of because he kind of shit posted his way into doing it and memed himself into doing it. So absolutely, am I gonna have my cake and eat it too, where I make fun of him but still like enjoy him? Yeah, like I'm gonna do both. I enjoy Joe Hendry, but I still like to make fun of him because that is the presentation he puts out there. He is someone to be kind of made fun of, but in an endearing way, like the way you would bust your bro's balls over something. You know, that's how I view Hendry since he's gone mainstream. But this is great for him, and this meant a lot to him. You know, it speaks volumes to how bad AAA is probably going to be treated. Was how they're treating TNA, but you know, it was great for him, and Orton needed a win. And I will say one thing I actually thought was great about this is that Orton was going to fight Kevin Owens. It was a blood feud, and you couldn't just do something from someone from the roster and have it feel the same.
Yeah.
So yeah, you bring in a big surprise for the pop. Orton still gets his win. It's a win-win for everybody except for TNA's credibility. Like no one seems to care about that. So it's a win-win in most situations. So like it was very sports entertaining. I did like it, and it's great. It's great for Joe. And on a serious note, it's great for Joe. But I can't be serious for that long, and I have to make fun of it. So, got jobbed out. LOL.
Yeah, I mean, I like Eric's comment here real quick saying if Jey Uso and LA Knight were injured, Joe Hendry would have beaten Gunther. They had to take title off him, but fucking hell.
I like Eric's other comments about Cena.
Oh yeah, I was gonna get to that. I guess I'll pop it up since you mentioned it. Cena said, "Watch tomorrow and see how I ruin wrestling." He doesn't realize he already did tonight.
I mean, he also did it, 20 years ago, 15 years ago, 10 years ago.
Yeah, but I have to agree with Maria. Like, it was really cool seeing Joe Hendry living his dream out, having a match at Mania. And
I mean, that's what I said. I just also made fun of him.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, like, when you're a little nihilistic, like. I met Joe Hendry and and he really, I mean, at least he came off to me this way. Like, he seems like a really earnest dude. Local hero Joe Hendry. Yeah. Like he does seem that way. So like, there was a reason that man was
That's
crying.
That's how far back we go as fans, that we know him as local hero Joe Hendry.
I called him local hero Joe Hendry, and he gave me like you know that? I'm like, yeah, dude. ICW me and you. Like,
yeah, I know your gimmick from when you were on like the British Indies. Like, yeah.
Because I knew him as the guy who would always parody the entrances. I never have seen, and I don't like to admit this, I've never seen a match of his. Oh no, that's not true. I watched the one where he came out to the Miley Cyrus thing, because I think that was the one he was leaving ICW. I think that might have been one of his last matches there, and he came out in the Hendry Ball. But I haven't seen most of those. The Drew one I heard was really good though. But he's local hero Joe Hendry, so he really is an earnest guy, and I was very happy for him to have that moment. And not only to have that, but the crowd react the way they did.
You got one of the loudest pops of the weekend.
Yeah, everyone waving their hands from side to side. Like, it was a legitimate reaction, and I'm thrilled for him. So, yeah, if you want to look at it on the business side of things, like, oh, TNA got jobbed out, their champ got jobbed out, he got jobbed out, fine. That man has been busting his ass for 10 plus years, maybe more, probably more, and got to fight Randy Orton at WrestleMania. Come on. Like, this, I think people stop looking at it from the business side and just appreciate the fact that that dude just lived out his dream. And that's why it was a feel-good moment. And again, I was very sports entertained.
Yeah, and he did this on short notice too.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, a couple of weeks probably. So, congratulations to Joe. I hope he gets more shots in the future. But, and this was fun for what it was. But, I'm sure James is probably going to go crazy in our group chat later. Or even more crazy. All right. Before we cover the last match, we have to cover because we're going to win a lot of order here. I do want to talk about Stone Cold running his ATV into a barricade and hurting somebody, because I'm sure Danny knows about this. So go ahead.
Oh man, what a WrestleMania moment! I mean, imagine paying $50,000 probably for a front row camera side seat. I'm exaggerating, but I'm probably only off by like.
I was going to say it's a front row seat. It's not the first semester of a college education.
You could definitely go to community college for 3 semesters for the price of a front row seat at WrestleMania. So
I went to a Jesuit school, so that's 1 semester.
I didn't go to community college. I'm just saying, you could probably go for a full year, honestly, for what it probably costs to go to the front row of WrestleMania. Yeah, it's cool. Hey, it's car crash TV, and it's living up to the name.
Honestly, not the funny thing, but the crazy thing to me is that's the first time I've ever seen Stone Cold really fuck up driving something. Like, he's usually pretty good about it. He always says, like, you give me 10 minutes, I can drive whatever you need me to. And he's always really good about it. And I don't know if it's stalled or whatever it was, but yeah, he ran
Don't
that.
drink and drive, people.
There's a chance it might have been that. I knew it was bad though when Nick Khan himself walked over there to check in on them. So hopefully those people are okay and we can actually make jokes about it. They didn't seem like they were leaving or anything. But
get the money, lady. Get your fucking money from that shit. There's
no,
a $1 billion company. Get some goddamn money.
So there's a chance they get, if they want to actually sue, they could probably get some money. But realistically, they'll probably bring them backstage and they'll like meet a bunch of people and get a bunch of signed shit. Like that's really probably what's going to happen.
Get both. That was attempted vehicular manslaughter.
All right, let's get to the last match we have to cover. Unfortunately, we're closing with this, but because we went out of order, c'est la vie. AJ Styles versus some douchebag. I didn't really pay that close attention to this, which is surprising because I said on the prediction show, I was like, oh, this is probably going to be a lot better than I think it's going to be. And it was fine. It was okay. Karrion Kross got involved. One of Logan's cronies showed up to try to slip him the brass knuckles. Karrion then also came out, and I think from under, I don't know if he came from under the ring, wherever he appeared from, he just materialized, and he prevented that from happening. AJ punched out the crony. Kross tried to give AJ the knuckles. AJ threw him away, went back in the ring, and ended up losing to whatever that actually kind of cool DDT Logan has now. I forget what it's called. It was the pulverizer or something. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't care about Logan Paul. Was this one of AJ's better WrestleMania matches, Danny? You tell me.
No. AJ Styles got to be the worst WrestleMania performer relative to his skills of all time.
Real quick, because Michael Cole said this as he was coming in. This is only AJ's 5th WrestleMania match. Because he's been hurt for a few of them.
Chris Jericho,
Shane
McMahon,
Nakamura, and the Boneyard match.
No, he fought Randy Orton at WrestleMania 35.
Okay, then Michael Cole was wrong. Maybe he said 6 and we misheard.
No, he might have been. He probably did say 5 because Michael Cole's a terrible fucking commentator.
Or he was giving bad information. Cole's been a lot better.
No.
Vince, but
I am going to get on a soapbox for 20 seconds. Cole got better for a year, but he's still not that good. It's just he was so dog shit. But now that it's been like 3 years, he's right back to being fucking bad and botching information and botching moves all the time.
He called a what match was it where he called a 450 the shooting star press?
I think the Chad Gable match last night.
No, it was tonight.
Oh,
I don't remember if it was the women's match. It might have been the women's match. Oh yeah, it was the women's match. Bianca hit the 450, and he goes shooting star press, and then Wade Barrett just goes, and she definitely, she hit that 450, and I was just like, I'm looking forward to seeing that on Botchamania.
He fucking when Becky's match, he called. She was going for a cross armbar, and he kept calling it the disarm. And I'm like, bro, she's been doing this for years, where she either does a Falcon Arrow or just a hip toss into a normal like cross armbar, and he keeps calling it the disarmer. Like, no, not every submission she does is the disarmer. he called a Michinoku driver not even that. He called something a Nightwing by Lyra Valkyria last week. And I'm like, no, that was not her finisher. Like, and she was holding the person the opposite way. What are you talking about, Michael? He's
Okay.
so unbearable. But
When I
anyway,
say
back to the match.
better, real quick, when I say better, like he's free from Vince and he's doing a better job of telling stories during the matches. He has always been fucking terrible at calling moves. It's
Yeah, I
not,
mean,
he's no Excalibur when it comes to that.
he's still better. Yeah, he's better than when he had Vince in his ear, but he's still not good. He was only good for that first year with Pat because it was refreshing. It made
Yeah.
Michael Cole loosen up. But it's like, I still don't like Michael Cole. And they're like, this is 28th Mania. And I'm like, that's too many. You need to stop. That's too many. Jim Ross hasn't called that many, and that's upsetting.
I'm enjoying him much more as a person, but as a actual commentator in terms of like the technical stuff, yeah, he's still not the best. But
that being said, Michael Cole, you're a Mets fan, so we'll always like you. Okay,
yes,
so as a person, I like you because you're a Mets fan, so we're friends in that regard.
Yeah,
but
seems like a good guy.
Yeah. This match was fine. It could have been. Oh, and he also fought Edge at WrestleMania. He's only missed like 2 Manias.
Man, Michael Cole really fucked that up, huh?
Yeah, they're bad at this, but this match was okay. It never really hit that like next gear. Like it was all fine. Like I'm over Logan Paul. Like the luster has worn off, and AJ just deserves better. But it is what it is. Like I didn't really feel strongly about this match, but oh well. You know, I hope AJ and Bayley go to AEW.
Honestly, I was thinking about this the other night because I was watching a bunch of old matches in WWE and AEW, and I was just like, I was watching AJ versus Brock at SummerSlam, and I was like, if I'm Tony Khan, when AJ's contract runs out, he's like, I'm going to retire him when the contract runs out. I'm like, throw him a bag and just be like, give me 10 matches and put him against like, Kenny, Bryan, Will Ospreay, like Hangman, like just do the top tier run of guys. Just give me, you don't have to wrestle a single match on Dynamite or Collision. Just give me 10 pay-per-view matches against my top guys and you can go.
Yo, for real. Like this is a rematch of a WWE match, but I would just love to see him have a match with Ricochet so he can slap his bald head and then flip his luscious hair in his face.
I think Ricochet might be match 13. Like you got to think about how deep that list is.
No, the important ones are Ospreay, Kenny, and Bryan, and then after that there's more wiggle room. But like those are the must do's, and you could throw in an Okada one. I'd be down for.
Oh no, yeah, Okada, yeah, 100%. Okada. I was thinking Swerve, Hangman, MJF, maybe.
I'm gonna be selfish and say Orange Cassidy.
Yeah, Orange would be a fun one. I was Adam Cole. It's another Bullet Club thing. Like, yeah, there's a lot there. I'm sure like the Bucks would probably get involved with that Okada match. Like, there's a lot there.
Oh, it's funny. Fernando in the comments saying AJ Styles versus Will Ospreay is a personal dream match of mine. That's a personal dream match of Will Ospreay. I'll tell you that.
Yep, 100%. I want to say hi to Fernando. He just popped in saying hello. He's also agreeing with us that Adam Cole, excuse me, not Adam Cole, baby, but no, Michael Cole sucks. And also that Logan sucks. We appreciate you there. And Maria also agreeing with us that AJ needs to not re-sign and go to AEW. Losing to Logan is a disgrace. And look, it is one of those things where Logan Paul is now unfortunately a part of our reality here in WWE, and he's going to beat people that you don't think he should beat. But
yeah,
we're here now, and we have to deal with it.
Yeah, it's like, where does Logan go from here? I don't know. I don't really care.
Exactly.
So it's like I wish AJ would have won, but it's like they do beat Logan most of the time. So like they gotta give him some. I just wish it wasn't AJ. Like that. It hurts, but I get that they got to give him some wins, like, because he loses to the big guys. He loses to, like, Cody, Roman, Seth, even the LA Knight, which was weirdly, I think his best match was the LA Knight match, maybe. But, like, for me, it's like the luster's gone. So, like, I don't know where he fits in, but it's not the preferred outcome. It's not the most fun match to end on, but it is what it is. It wasn't bad enough to ruin the night, but it also wasn't good enough for it to not stand out among a pretty overall solid night.
Yeah, I think we're just so apathetic towards Logan at best
Yeah.
that we just don't care. It's just one of those things that, like, he's now, and I hate using this phrase, he's a full-fledged WWE superstar. It's not just he's a celebrity guy coming in. Like, he's going to be there, and he's going to be people that we like. And there you go. I did look up AJ's WrestleMania record. This is via Sportskeeda from last April, so hopefully it's still accurate up until this year. He fought Jericho at 32, took the L, beat Shane at 33, beat Nakamura at 34, beat Orton at 35, lost to Taker at 36 in the Boneyard match. He was involved with the New Day match at 37, and then he lost to Edge at 38. So he is 4-3, now 4-4.
And he lost to LA Knight last year.
Okay, so all right, this wasn't accurate to that. So yeah, you're right.
So he only missed one.
Now he's 4-5. Yeah. Wow. So either I am going deaf, but that's besides the point, or Michael Cole really, really fucked up.
Oh no, Daniel just had the funniest comment.
I think James will run into him in Japan.
There's no way of knowing.
Fernando, we said this the other day. He's saying his best match was versus Shane, and that sucks. We were saying this on the prediction show the other day. It probably is outside of the Boneyard match because cinematic, like, that was awesome, but cinematic, it wasn't technically a wrestling match. Yeah, I think his best match arguably is against Shane. At the Jericho one was solid, but he took the L, so we were all disappointed in it.
The Orton one was good too. It just,
yeah,
it was just on a long Mania, so it's hard to like. And it's like, it's overshadowed by like the women's first main event and like the Kofi Bryan match.
Yep.
So like people don't think about it that much, but it was like a good match.
Honestly, I completely forgot we saw that, but that's how long that. The only thing I remember truly about that Mania is, I remember Seth coming out and being like, "We're doing this now to start the show." I remember Paige coming out to do commentary because I was in the bathroom and I thought I was going to miss it. And then I remember Cena coming out as the Doctor of Thugonomics because I was again in the bathroom and thought I was going to miss it. I remember Bex winning, and then I remember getting caught in the rain waiting for the train.
Oh my god, that rain was insane. That shit came out of nowhere. It was a torrential downpour.
Brutal.
But no, I remember the AJ Randy match because the first 10 minutes of it, we were fucking chanting for them to turn the light off. They were shining a light right in our fucking face.
Right, I heard that. I was in a different spot, so I was lucky. I had club level seats.
Even like addressed it after the show. He's like, "I'm sorry, you guys couldn't see that. It was a hell of a match." He's like, "AJ's one of the best." He was like putting him over. Even he was annoyed at that shit.
Yeah, but that happens a lot.
It does. It's like, why do we keep having to do that? That's like the most insane version of quality control that we have to be like, "Hey, this does not work. You gotta turn that off." It's brutal. I hate that shit.
The poorers don't need to see. Daniel saying in the chat, he does rock with Logan's finisher. It is pretty cool. I will admit that. I'll grant him that. It is a pretty cool finisher. So.
Yeah. I mean, I think that might be all I got. I don't think I have anything else to really add on to this besides fuck Triple H. Yeah, that'll be my final. To to wrap this up, let me just quickly say, I can't stand Triple H. He's so self-indulgent.
Triple
He
H,
co-
Triple H,
Why did
Triple
he
H.
need? Why did he need his music to play multiple times last night on night one? Why,
Paying so little attention, I barely even noticed.
dude? Why does he have to open the show like every year? Is that going to be every year he's going to open, and then Stephanie's going to open night two? Like, come fucking on! Stop with the self-indulgent bullshit. Like,
Stephanie
why
opened
couldn't?
tonight?
Yeah, she did.
Oh, I fast forwarded through that.
Oh,
Cool.
lucky you! Lucky you!
Yeah.
Lucky you! No, I don't like Jey Uso. I really don't. But I think he deserved his moment yesterday. I can't wait till it's over. But he deserved it. Why couldn't
Dude,
his
that dude's
music?
money right now, man. He's
Yeah.
sorry.
But why couldn't his music be the first music to play yesterday? Why did it have to be Triple H's?
Because it's time to play the game, Danny.
Like the whole point of him winning the Rumble was to have his yeet moment and have the whole crowd eat him. Why couldn't you let that just be the first? If he's gonna open the show and not be main event Jey Uso, why can't he just get that first entrance? Why are you gonna take that away from the wrestlers on the show? Like, just give them that. Like it's so easy, and then because you're charging exorbitant amounts of money, like it's not as impressive as you're making it out to be. Like I can't. And then you induct, like you do the Hall of Fame shit. You talk for over an hour, as we're about to hit 2 hours here, but still, you alone talk for over an hour for your Hall of Fame speech. It's well past midnight. Your wrestlers are falling asleep in the audience. Some of them legit work in the morning. The NXT people are working the goddamn morning shift.
5 a.m. call time for NXT.
Yeah, like, and you're doing this self-indulgence, and it's so brutal. And then I know that this is always how they do the Hall of Famers coming out spot at WrestleMania, but the fact that Brett and Stone Cold are just standing there already while you get the big entrance, get the fuck out of here. Those are two guys way above you whose boots you can never lace. Dude, I cannot. I dislike him so much. He's an okay booker sometimes. Not lately, but I don't like Triple H. He invites us to WrestleMania, then I'll sell out and kiss his ass like Punk does. But
Oh, I can't wait for that episode of the podcast. Danny sells out.
Yeah, in a heartbeat. Like I'm gonna play both sides, so I always come out on top. But I'll sell out in a heartbeat.
Fair enough. Maria is agreeing with you, saying Trips does not need to show his face all the time. Honestly, look, Triple H, he's a fine booker, whatever. Never let it be said the man doesn't have an ego. Like, he has a massive one. We all have known that for a very long time. And I think after the NXT Brooklyn thing, when he came out, it was like, welcome to NXT, and everyone went bananas. And then fucking Reddit sent him a fruit basket. He was just like, well, I got to do that all the time now. And it's a thing. So that's the way it is. Fernando is saying Triple H owes everything to his wife and father-in-law.
And Shawn Michaels. And Kevin Nash. No, don't try to defend this man. No.
Look, because I'm not going to say he is. I don't want to say he's not a talented person. I don't want to say he doesn't have a good mind for the business, because he does. He was both a talented wrestler and had a very good mind for the business. Now, granted, do I think that he was helped along by his relationships? Absolutely. But he's not some scrub who just, got to where he is.
No, Bret Hart was right. He's not even in the top 1,000 wrestlers. He's a 4 out of 10.
Yeah. All right, fair. I'm never going to disagree with Bret Hart. That's the man. Also, my cousin tried to put me in the sharpshooter tonight, and I have a massive floor burn on my hand. Eric shouting out the crew after Triple H's long-ass speech. That's my guy there. Shout out the Union, as always. And oh man, all right, screw it, I'll do it. That was a nice. Someone yelled out because Benoit Triple H has never been the same since.
Dude, I remember that. I was like so mad. I was like, because I actually thought that one was kind of cool. So I was like, I wish we could just be quiet. But there was like those people that wouldn't like shut the fuck up, and it's like it almost worked, but he is right. Triple H should have taken that as a hint and like stopped the self-indulgent crap back then, you know. But
Right, the first Brooklyn one, yeah. I am still mad an unnamed ticket company fucked me over on one of those NXTs in Brooklyn and double sold our tickets, and I didn't get to see it live, and I'm still pissed.
Wait, which one was it though?
Damn, I don't remember off the top of my head.
Not the first one though, right?
No, it wasn't the first one. I didn't go see that one. I did at least get to see the Ciampa Gargano unsanctioned match where they like tore up the ring and shit.
No, nice.
That was a really good one. But Dan, did you have any final thoughts on WrestleMania, or you just want to, in terms of the matches? I know you got your chance to shit on Triple H there, but overall, the night, how'd you feel about it?
Okay, so my opinion on the matches in WrestleMania is that Triple H has only had like 2 good ones ever, but
2 good
one was
matches.
against,
Like he's booked 2 good matches.
no, he's had, and it was like against Bryan, and the other one was against Ronda Rousey. It makes no sense, but you know,
I did love that match. I was very sports entertained by that match.
but no,
Ronda never had a good match after that.
That's not true.
Sorry. Well, the Becky one, and then never had a good match after that.
No, Ronda was good until she lost the title, and then she stopped.
I'm just shitting on Ronda. Let me do the bit.
No, I'm standing up for Ronda's first run, but but no, the matches were night 2 was great. Night 1 was not. Triple threat on night 1 was great. The main event was fantastic for night 1. The main event, air quotes, was great. Night 2 was much better match wise, and even spectacle wise. It just felt like a bigger deal. Like night 1 did not feel like WrestleMania until the main event, unfortunately. Whereas, night 2 did. I thought, because I didn't talk about night 1, I thought, Tiffany and Charlotte under-delivered, which I expected. I thought the opener under-delivered, which I expected. And I can barely remember anything else from it. But the main event delivered. I don't think it was as great as everyone else makes it out to be, but I thought it was really, really good. I think Roman's teeth are too nice, so that when he tried to smile, he looked like a not human being.
Those ain't his teeth.
Disturbing. Maybe I could not tell he was trying to smile. Like I was like, "Are you smiling or are you in pain?" I don't know, because your teeth are taking up like the whole screen. It was blinding. But it wasn't the best WrestleMania, but it had its moments ultimately, and I could imagine going back to watch both of the triple threats. And Cena sucks, but him winning was important, so it's not like it doesn't have important ramifications. He got them a little too whitened, my dude. And looking at his teeth is like when you're in a hospital staring up at the fluorescent lights on the ceiling. Like it was.
Don't. You give me PTSD. Don't.
But it felt like WrestleMania in parts. Not the strongest, but it is what it is. I'll be interested to see what Raw's like tomorrow.
Yeah, look, I had a really good time watching both nights. Granted, like I said last night, I was out. I was with friends, and I didn't really pay very close attention to the wrestling of it, but I had a good time hanging out with my friends and watching it. And similarly, tonight, I paid more attention. I had a really fun time watching it, but if I looked at this a lot more critically, I'd probably have a lot more complaints, because I wasn't.
Well, you watched it like Triple H wanted you to watch it. You'd not be a critic, be a fan.
Exactly. And I watched it much more as a fan. But that being said, I have watched previous WrestleManias where I'm watching them with friends, and they are so good, you can't help but stop talking and have to watch. And the only points that happened were last night's triple threat and the opening match triple threat tonight.
Yeah.
Or at least for me and my friends personally. So I don't know what that said. I enjoy Hendry coming out. That also, we all shut the fuck up because we're like, holy shit. I don't want to say that, like, other matches weren't good. I still think the Fatal 4-Way for the IC title was pretty solid. I think the Priest McIntyre match was very good. But, and obviously Becky came back, and I'm just going to love that match on principle. But, was this an end-all, be-all WrestleMania? No. But I had fun. And it's gonna be one of those things where it's like, I had a good time watching it, and I'll have fond memories of 41, but comparatively to, say, what we saw, I was going to say Dynasty, but not even just AEW Dynasty, on Wednesday on Dynamite. Woof! Wrestling-wise, buddy, there's a huge discrepancy there.
Oh, yeah. But it is what it is. As long
Yeah.
as people have fun, I hope everyone that watched it at least had fun.
Yeah, exactly. It better be worth the friggin' upcharge Peacock keeps going up every fucking month and a half, so. Do you want to hop in the comments before we get out of here? Fernando saying Cena versus Cody wasn't bad, but very anticlimactic. I actually think that's a good way of describing it.
Well, I think it was a Cena match, so it starts bad and then maybe it gets better. Who knows?
Yeah. I also, as we said in the beginning, I do think it we all built it up on our heads with there'd be a lot of shenanigans, and we got Travis Scott. Maria saying night 2 was better than night 1. I'm going to trust you on that one. Maria also rating tonight a 7.3. It would have been higher, but Cody versus Cena was a bit of a dud for her. Fair enough. And Eric, outside of commenting on Roman's teeth, saying Cody wins it back from Cena and Seth cashes in, or Seth beats Jay.
I think, Cody definitely wins it back from Cena. Nobody's beaten Cena.
Yeah, I mean,
Seth just beats Jay and legitimizes that title, because I don't think Jay's going to have a long run. I think he loses it within the next 3 months. He does not make it to SummerSlam as champion.
Yeah, I think. I could see maybe, he just lost. I was going to say CM Punk beating Cena in a couple of months would be fun. But
he's not going to. There's no way.
Yeah, honestly.
Punk is laying down for Cena. He's not going to beat him.
Yeah, maybe. Honestly, I was so convinced Cody was going to win tonight. I haven't even considered thinking of possibilities for whoever beats Cena. So I genuinely have no fucking clue. Eric's convinced it's got to be Cody, though.
He's right. It has to be. 100%. It does not make sense for him to beat Cody and Cody not get the win back. That's not good, especially as a heel. If it was a face thing, maybe, but no, it's going to be Cody. Cody wins it back, and then maybe Cena puts over a young guy on his last match, like Braun Breaker or someone. But for the title, it has to be Cody.
Yeah, all right. I think that's fair. You're right. I think Cody does have to get his win back. So, all right, I can see that happening. But we have a lot of time to talk about that. But it is late here on the East Coast. So, on that note, I would like to thank everybody so much for watching us here at the Market Down Podcast. We'd appreciate it if you liked and subscribed. If you like the video here, it lets us know that you're enjoying what we're doing, and we'll continue to do more of it. And if you subscribe, you continue to get all of our episodes here at the pod. I am praying somebody covers tomorrow. As I mentioned earlier, I don't have Netflix, so I can't watch Raw. But maybe we'll try to do something. If not, we'll probably do something over on our socials, which I'll get to in a minute. If not, we are here pretty much every Wednesday for Dynamite. I'm going to do my best to cover it this week. I do have a Met game, so we'll see. But we're here every week on Wednesday for Dynamite. James will be returning with the Gym Pack Zone in a couple of weeks for you TNA fans. So be sure to subscribe for that. And we also cover all of the pay-per-views here on the pod, whether it's a TNA or, well, James does TNA ones, but WWE and AEW, we're definitely covering those. And the occasional Ring of Honor one if it tickles our fancy. If you would like to follow us on any social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, or Blue Sky, and you're here on YouTube, you can check all those links out in the description below. If you are watching over on Facebook or on Twitter itself, you can follow us on Twitter at marketdown_pod. Instagram is at marketdownpod. YouTube.com/marketdown3665. Blue Sky is marketdownpod.bsky.social. Or, as always, just search Marketdown Podcast in any of those platforms, and we will show up. Danny, any final parting words before we get out of here?
Fuck Triple H.
I would like to thank Maria. Excellent review. We appreciate you, Maria. Thank you for always being here with us at the Market Down Podcast. For myself, Nick Cummings, and Danny Hernandez, thank you so much for watching us here at the Market Down Podcast. Don't drink and drive. Be nice to animals. And for those of you who celebrated, I hope you had a happy Easter. And for those of you who celebrated, I hope you had a happy 420. Have a good one, everyone. And hope you had a good WrestleMania weekend, too. Thank you, and good night.